north and the south, offering flexi compras to those living hand to mouth. La frontera te llama, through the bars and barbed wire. Now they're fracking South Texas, and the water's caught fire. La frontera te llama, through the internet buzz, cause they're still ignoring Juarez. Women dying just because. La frontera te llama. We had a black man in charge, but incarceration's imminent for black and brown at large. The ice caps are melting, the hurricanes are near, the mass shooting madmen, the terrorists live here. The children wear targets, the NRA supply, y la frontera está quemando en die. People cerca de Rio, the FNDC, that kid shot dead in a hoodie. Well, he could have been me. La frontera te llama. Me oyen cartels, take your 8-line of leeches and go straight to hell. La frontera te llama. Mate loco on ground zero, cause I'm stuck here in the middle and I'm searching for a hero. La frontera te llama. All you Wall Street occupiers, the government only bails out the grifters and liars. The ice caps are melting, the hurricanes are near, the mass shooting madmen, the terrorists live here. The children sell drogas, the Golfo supplies, y la frontera está quemando en die. Viva cerca de Rio. Now listen to this. La frontera te llama. Yeah, I'm guilty too, cause what they're teaching in the classrooms, well, some of it ain't true. La frontera te llama. All you locas and locos, all Norteamericanos, before fresas y pochos, la frontera te llama. Arizona and beyond, cause when you fuck with my gente, we're sure to respond. The ice caps are melting, the hurricanes are near, the mass shooting madmen, the terrorists live here. The children carry weapons, there's at the supply, y la frontera está quemando en die. Viva cerca de Rio. The positive space of La Madre Valiente. Her cisgendered but gender non-conforming body is the opposite of what it is not. She loves men and women equally, even though they are not treated as equals. Having been a parent and a child, she cares for both. She arrived in her body, as we all do, through the collusion of dogma and action. Her body is a whole, a weak spot in a defensive line. A woman is a child, is a man who is not a man, is an enemy, is a whole, a weak spot. Her slavery-shaped skin was born through a hole in a defensive lines. Her thoughts have no shape but are considered deadlier than her sickle-shaped breasts. The shape of her mother's suffering is the shape of all things martyred. The family resemblance is uncanny. Eyes the color of fresh bruises, bodies the color of bullseyes. Tongue-tired of tasting her own blood, she fashioned it, finally, into a fist and began to fight back. She will no longer trade her femininity for favors. In the event that you're not able to run, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, multiple strikes, multiple nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, multiple strikes, multiple, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, multiple strikes, multiple nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, multiple strikes, don't yell help, yell fire, no, don't yell rape, yell fire, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, nose, ears, eyes, throat, temple, multiple strikes. Yes, all women are under attack. Women and children have got to prepare. Not all men, but the numbers are stacked. So you have to take care, you have to stay aware. High, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, multiple strikes, multiple, don't yell help, yell fire, no,
He has everything on film, so if you guys want to, you're recording, check him out, find him out. He's very professional, he's awesome, and he has a channel that's very, very popular. So y'all please give it up for Amalia Ortiz one more time. Again, she will be at the Guadalupe as part of Teatro Salon at 8 p.m. next Saturday. And she's doing some amazing stuff, mixing spoken word, music, and theater, and doing a beautiful, wonderful hybrid job. And we're just going to keep this thing going. People are loving it. People are coming from everywhere. We're going to bring up our first poet here at Una Noche en la Gloria 2017. Please put your hands together for Mr. Eddie Vega.
Thank you, Anthony. What's up? Una Noche en la Gloria. All right, all 5 of you were awesome. We're awesome, right? Actually, there's not 5. There's like at least 15. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna open it up with this this one piece. It's not new. It's just that I haven't read it in a while, like at least 2-3 days. Okay. I was driving down I-10 feeling homesick for the Rio Grande Valley of my youth when all of a sudden I saw it. There was a billboard that said, Cuisine de your hood. Man, I got excited. I exited, I found the nearest restaurant, walked in the door, right behind the white couple on the matching Birkenstocks into the Chipotle to find the Cuisine de mi hood. And then I thought, what the flour tortilla is going on? What? Chipotle, you don't know me. You don't know what I ate in my hood. First of all, you're not allowed to call it a hood. I can, you can't. I prefer to call it barrio. And in my barrio, if I'd ever used the word cuisine, I would have heard quique, cochino. ¿Qué es eso? But more importantly, Chip, can I call you Chip? Anyway, Chip, Chipotle is a dried jalapeno pepper, and I'm not sure that I see that anywhere on the menu or your logo or the minds of your executives. My barrio was humble. I remember standing in line for cheese, and your Monterey Jack doesn't hold a Sacred Heart of Jesus candle to that cheddar. In my barrio, we used food stamps to make ends meet until my parents got on their feet and we didn't need to anymore. Everything else, we bought with coupons. You see, we didn't eat like royalty. But when my mother put a plate in front of me, I felt like a prince. And in my barrio, we ate fresh flour tortillas with butter, fresh corn tortillas with salt, a slice of bologna thrown on the comal, thrown into a tortilla of any kind. We ate macaroni and cheese with weenies chopped up and thrown in there. We ate hamburger helper and span and chicken helper, and if it was Lent, tuna helper. And what do you have? You have bowls, burritos, and tacos. Well, our bowls were from menudo and charro beans. Our burritos were deep fried and found under a heat lamp at 7-Eleven. And our tacos, well, our tacos were anything we put into a tortilla. So we had fajita tacos. We had chicken tacos. We had sausage tacos, bacon tacos, bean tacos, potato tacos, weenie and egg tacos, last night's hamburger helper tacos. Let's talk about variety. Let's talk about resourcefulness. Let's talk about how none of the top executives at your Mexican grill are Mexican. And let's talk about cultural appropriation. Chip, chip, chip. Just because you serve stuff in tortillas doesn't mean you know what I ate in my hood. And having carnitas on your menu does not make you authentic. And honestly, we never put chicken or steak on a bed of romaine lettuce, because I didn't know what romaine lettuce was until college. And I finally found the chipotle. You mix it with vegetables and tofu, and you call it sofritas. Sofritas. The Puerto Ricans and Dominicans have this thing called sofrito, and it's a base for their meals. Sofritas is not a meal. Something you made up. Sorry, Chip, I sound hostile. I'm not a total hater. I will still visit y'all, but not because of any sort of nostalgia or sense of authenticity. No, I'll go because I'm hungry. I kind of like the burritos. And I have a coupon. What's up with this guy? All right. Excuse me while I fix the microphone, maybe. All right, I think I got it now. That's okay. It was like it was succumbing to drunkenness or something. It was kind of like leaning over, and I'm like, no, it's too early for that. Too early for that. All right, how is everybody doing? We're trying to check this all out. No, we're doing well. All right. This next poem I'm gonna do. It's kind of based on a true story. It's something that kind of happened some summers ago. I actually met this woman, the woman who inspired this poem. I knew that there was something about her. Something about the way in which she talked. Something about that like look in her eye. Something about that like California way in which she saw the world. And then after a week of spending time together, we stood on camp chairs with a group of people overlooking Medina Lake. And she said something. Man, she said something. She said something that just confirmed why it was that I just did not like her. This time it was the chicharras that set her off. She said, oh my God, that noise. How can you stand to like live here around that like constant noise? Listen, woman, I said. But in my head, of course, because my mother taught me never to speak to any lady like that. But out loud I did say to her these things. I said, that noise is the chicharra, or cicada to your people. It's a soundtrack to every summer that I've known. It's a sound that tells me that I'm home. It's a sound that reminds me of sitting at my grandmother's table eating pan dulce and drinking an orange soda. Of my parents' screen door snapping back because I've gone outside to take a ride around the neighborhood. Of convincing my little cousins to pick those chile piquins for my grandmother's salsa and then watch when they rub their eyes and they start to cry. You gotta get really close to stop the chicharra. So I knew that as long as it was chirping, el cucuy was not coming. Man, it was the last sound that we heard before plunging into the pool under an August sun, and the first sound that we heard when the water released our ears from its captivity. It was there every morning when I walked 4 blocks to Woodrow Wilson Elementary. It was there during every game of Chinese freeze tag. When the Lamar Middle School Boxers lost their last chance to score a touchdown for the entire season, it was the only sound louder than their sobs. In high school, when I stood at attention during 2-a-day band practice, it was the only sound louder than my heartbeat. Rachel Jackson had these gray-green eyes and auburn hair. She had long mastered that Texas twang, and she said, Eddie Vega, I'm gonna knock you upside the head if you don't ask me out. When I stood outside her door waiting to pick her up for homecoming, it was the only sound louder than my heartbeat. It's a sound that inspired accordion music and chancla dancing and cruising down military, waving down the raspa truck, holding hands with your crush at Woodlawn Lake on the 4th of July, and of course, barbacoa and Big Red with your family on a Saturday morning. It's a sound that says that a Whataburger with cheese and jalapenos will always kick it in its ass. And we don't wear sweaters on our beaches. And when Fiesta's over, the party's just getting started. Because summer lasts forever. And we've got a 2 for the cooler this year. And we're going to float our troubles away, and the chicharras are going to be there all along the banks, the soundtrack of our summer. So sabes que? Get up off that camp chair, girl, and get yourself back to California. Because it's a sound that reminds me that I am a son of South Texas. Shoot, there ain't nothing else that I'd rather be. All right, thank you. We're going to bring in more poets, and then maybe I'll see y'all in a little bit. And I also have books with none of the poems that I read right now, but maybe I'll read one of them from later. And they're only $5, and there's 4 poems in there for $5. That's like $1.25 a poem. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. All right.
The Haiku Festival at the Mission Marquee Plaza. He got featured on the city's via On the Move poetry kind of crap. So you might have seen his poetry on the bus. He's been winning everything this year. So I don't know, man. He's just an awesome poet. So yeah, if you like what you heard, he's got books, and he might be coming back to join us. Again, this is the University of the Spoken Words poetry stage at Una Noche en la Gloria. This is the 9th year that we do this, and you should not worry about the music happening out there in the background, because the beauty of this event is that there are over 400 creative artists all doing their stuff simultaneously. It's one great big project. So we are here for the celebration of our creative spirits, and right here on this stage we are rocking the spoken word. So please help me welcome your next poet of the evening. Please give it up for Mr. Don Mathis. Put your hands together for Mr. Don Mathis.
Testing. I've got some word play. Word, part one. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. For 65 years I was taught God was the Word, that God was the Word, and He was all supreme and almighty. But no, the Word was God. The Word was all-powerful and almighty. That's why they call it the incarnate Word. The Bible itself is made up of words, only words. And the Word was God, your God. Word, my God. Word, God, Word, Word, Word. What power! Your Word, my Word. Words of wisdom. If you can use words to describe it, you can understand it. That is science. Words of encouragement. If you can't use words to describe it, to define it, try anyway. That's art. Wordsmith. If you can put a tune to those words, that's music. Your word is your bond. A poet shares his feelings, creates a mood, or presents a point with words. Word soup. If these words nourish your soul, that's food. Word of the day. A preacher, a rock star, an advertiser, an author makes a living with words. Awkward. A man woos a woman with words. Awkward sometimes. Making whoopee starts by making words. Word. Word, part two. Use a brief word for your password. A word of note. Work it word by word. Don't play word games or play word flirts. Avoid word riddles. Use a word search. Go to the word bank. Make a word association. Float some word bubbles. Make a word citation. Use a word diagram, a word finder. Get a word builder. Find a word binder. Got a crossword? We're going to reword. What's the word count? On Microsoft Word. Use a Word document for wordiness. Work it on Word Perfect. Use WordPress. Use a Word template for your forward. Use a word insert if you got a backward. Surfing birds, and the bird is the word. Or is that too wordy for the angry birdie? Did the word play get your money's worth? In the word break of William Wordsworth? Nothing's cuter than baby's first words. Nothing hurts worse than broken words. Got the word suffix? Got the word prefix? Use a word derivative. Get a word fix. Some use angry words. Some use words of love. When using words of praise, you know when words are enough. Make your key word your watchword. Keep your word of honor. Make it your buzzword. Make earnest words your dying words. Use loving words, not lying words. Here's a word of caution, a word of advice. Use words of affirmation. That's a word to the wise. When tempted to use heated words or mighty big words, I advise you to put in the words some select and few choice words. You may find loose words or small words in between the words. Stay away from fighting words so you won't have to eat your words afterwards. Remember the good word, the written word, the holy word, the sacred word, the spoken word. Avoid dirty words. Avoid hateful words. Put in the words grateful words. You may think words will never hurt me, but they do, so choose your words wisely. Make your defining word your byword, because solemn words turn on a word. A word of thanks is an oft-spoken word. Make it a word of law, and then add one more word. Another word should be your guiding word. It can be your leading word or your last word. You can avoid the wrong word if you always use a comforting word. Word. Thank you.
That was Mr. Don Mathis. Mr. Don Mathis is he reads poetry all over the city. I think he was one of the winners of this year's. We're gonna be rocking the spoken word and poetry till 9:30, and we have a beautiful crowd here. Join us. Make this your first stop. Come on in, and help us welcome our next poet of the evening. Please give it up for Elijah One. Elijah One is out there. Please put your hands together.
Thank you. Nice to be here. So here we are in the Trump era. It's been almost a year. And I'm not sure what that means. But to me it means revolution. And I'm not sure what that means. But here's my revolutionary rag poem. The struggle is to regain our humanity. This feels just like the 60s again, when the young people rose up and took back their power. Hell no, we won't go, was our chant as the military machine scooped up our comrades in arms and shipped them overseas to fight a war in the jungles of a foreign country. Some of you might remember. But we brought the house down. Mahatma Gandhi did it in India. Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali spoke truth to power and would not answer to a slave name. Google it. It's on YouTube. The revolution will be televised, from the drone shots of Standing Rock to the Purple Mountain's majesty. Cell phones are already posting, Facebookian exploding, YouTubian glowing. Networks of communication are flowing from among the branches of our great nation, like-minded people of all creation. Mother Earth and Father Sky. And farther out, outer space, God watching over us. Poor humans down there, like a theater piece or something, playing out their drama, their passion, their death wish, perhaps to die and be reborn again in a heavenly realm where all desires are exactly and easily met. Kind of like the ancient people who lived here among us around the springs back when the garden was our home, not our hobby. But we destroyed all that to build cars and houses and weapons, to destroy others who do not believe in destroying like we destroyed. Now we're tired. We elected Donald Trump. How lame is that? And everything is going to be great again. Everything except for that one small dark splotch on our window of opportunity. Mortality. Who invited you in? I wanted to live forever, I guess. Or maybe not. You have to die. But first you have to live. Rise up. This struggle is to regain our humanity. This feels just like the 60s again, when the young people rose up and took back their power. Smashed the arrogance of the dominant paradigm and the empty warehouses of lost love. And every time I do this poem, I get brain lock and I lose the way. Just keep going.
Like the 60s again.
Yeah, it's just like the 60s again, when the young people rose up and took back their power, shattered the complacency of a nation. There were empty warehouses of lost love, believing in God, but not knowing God was already here. The Virgin, the saints, and all the angels already here. No need to wait any longer. Let's do this thing in the name of the Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day is the prayer we pray. Supplicate, meditate, adorate. Don't obfuscate the issues. This is you too. Hello, can you hear me? I wrote this down on my iPhone. I don't know why. I just wanted to get it right, right on, right down. Down syndrome, autism, vaccination, procrastination, defeated nation, irascible conjugation of Israelis searching for the promised land at the edge of the desert sand. Fresh ideas born on the edge of the stratosphere where we can't look down and view our hemisphere. And all the lovely life here, making plans and procreating. Take two such genres and merge them together. Fresh ideas, new insights. Ride your bike, fill your brain with oxygenated air. I wrote this on a cool wet day, on a mission from God. A message of hope I saw written in the sky as I rode by. Hey, we made a mess down here. Admit it. It's not too late to clean it up. Or at least we could try. Any smart species would do that. Homo sapiens. Hey, the Neanderthals are gone, didn't make it. Homo erectus 2 fell down, couldn't get up. Hey, Homo sapiens! How smart are you? So, that's my revolutionary rape poem. Let's rise up and let's change things and let's make this a better world. Let's bring the grassroots power to the people revolution. That's what we need. Thank you very much.
All right, that was Elijah as a winner of the Tricentennial Poetry big event that the City of San Antonio Gemini Inc. put together. He will be featured in the upcoming anthology next year. You will see his words all over the city, printed up on 30-story buildings, probably, right over there, even on the tower, I think. Please put your hands together for one of my favorite poets. I call him The Voice. If there was a competition for poets called The Voice, this guy would win it. Please put your hands together for Mr. Jesse Cardona. Give it up for Jesse Cardona.
Good evening. When I discovered I belonged to the cosmic race, I went shopping for a galaxy. Mother and I take our chairs out into the porch. It's a gorgeous moon. And then I think about how we die too soon. I was 3 years old when the atomic supersonic bomb zoomed to Earth. I became laconic, seldom spoke, and my mother took to ordering tonics for her seemingly moronic son. But she did not take me to see the priest for fear the neighbors would talk demonic. Instead, she took me to see Blanca La Curandera in Corpus Christi, sparkling city by the seaside. She lived on Morgan Street, La Calle Morgan, and she lived above a botanica or parking lot, a mix of mud and seashells. Rolling Lobo Negro cigarettes, I tried to read her smoke rings. She told my mother not to worry. It was nothing chronic, to trust in the power of phonics. But I remained laconic until 7th grade, when my history teacher from Nashville, Tennessee, who spoke to us of honky tonks and Joe Blow from Kokomo, saw in me something of a refugee. So he took me out into the hall for a talk. I heard he died that summer in a car wreck. He wore penny loafers. My brother Raul and I, walking in our zapatos, we are dos guapos, walking down Main Street in Kingsville, Texas. We walk into Raglan's, the man's shop, where an aging salesman who looks like Senor Wences tells us he likes our psychedelic colored lenses. We splash our faces with colognes from foreign places. And it's 1953. Cousin Joe, Primo Carnal, I don't know where you are, but it's Christmas Eve, and your alcoholic father has left the family penniless on Christmas Eve. My father finds them at the 1, 2, 3, but all he gets is a bottle broken over his head. Primo Jose, Primo Carnal, I heard you took to the streets, became wild-eyed, and I heard rumors that your only speech was the click of your switchblade. Primo Jose, Primo Carnal, I don't know where you are, but you took to the streets, pushing a 3-wheel bike with your brown skinny thighs. And I envied the fingers of your hands ringing a chrome set of bells waking up the sleeping beauties down my street. Primo Jose, Primo Carnal, I envied you as I witnessed the legendary bevy of young girls gathering round the incredible breath of your frosty ice cream box. And I could almost hear you say, Simon que si, of course I've got Eskimo pies. Primo Jose, Primo Carnal, I don't know where you are, but I envied you and the blur of chrome bicycle spokes. Thank you.
The Wolfman, one of, dang, I have a lot of favorite poets, and I think that they're my favorite because they're so badass. They win awards, they sell music, they do things creatively out there, they organize spaces where poetry and spoken word can happen like this. Please put your hands together for Mr. Max Edmond.
Truth be told, Anthony showed me a lot of love when I first came to San Antonio many moons ago. And I love that dude, man. He's always put me on, and much love for Anthony. Anthony the poet, y'all. The man does his thing. This poem was inspired by the movie Sicario. Has anybody seen that? Nobody seen it? A few people? Okay. We smoke them like it's live at the barbecue. Don't care about your size when hard slugs penetrate you. Don't care about who made you. Survival of the fittest. Survival of the ones with the guns, that's the biggest. Taking out bigots. Don't shoot till you see the whites. Americans transporting supplies, corporate interests, but won't get their hands dirty. Soldiers in the field stay grimy networking, cutting side deals. No trust, no loyalty. Sneak attack on any that believe the royalty. Hit them from the inside, infiltrate their organizations, change it up and replace them. With our team, tribal, taking over. This is nothing recent, it's been going on for centuries, peep it. This is not for the squeamish, hide your kids, stack your funds. Survival of the fittest with the biggest guns. Border wars, we fight over drogas, fight over bodies, kill one another. Kill for land, take money, human trafficking, kidnap and take them to the other side and back again. Turned out, strung out, slavery in the valley. Taking out patrols, cartels and federales. Chaos, border wars, drug lords, crystal meth, cocaina, heroin, whores, crystal meth, cocaina, heroin, whores. Civility is dead, border wars. You invited it, you wanted it, and you will get it. You're never satisfied. We already gave you Texas, but you still want to fuck with us. Now that's lukewarm. There's a short piece called I Am, and hopefully you can relate to this one instead. I am brown, therefore I am misinterpreted. I am male, therefore I am to be sturdy through hurting and workable. Networking. I am a human being, not a race. If so, I choose NASCAR. I'm a child of revolution, 73. I am riddled with life scars, cuts, bruises, and cellular memories. I am a man, at least that's what some family and friends tell me. I am my own worst enemy. I am also my own upliftment. I am my past, future, and present. And yes, I am a father to my children. I am advice to those that follow it. I am truth to those that can actually listen. I am a villain to those that hate the fact that I do what I do for a living. I am open to new interpretations. I am clay to God in the time of revelations. I am still seeking my place in this life station, hoping one day I can move nations. I am stronger than I thought, with supporters, but yet opponents adjacent. I am unique and individual, and there is no replacement.
Please put your hands together for Miss Joyous Windrider. Give it up for Joyous Windrider.
Good. This is a public service announcement from your kidneys, your lungs, your heart. And no, this is not about the drink in your hand, the fatty food that you've just eaten, or the cigarette you're about to smoke. No, this is a public service announcement from your muscles, your bones, from the nerve endings. This is a public service announcement saying it's time to spring clean. Yes, spring cleaning is a concept we need to understand. It is time to get rid of what we've been holding on to. Your body knows. You think nobody else does, but your body knows. Yes, late at night when your tummy is rumbling and you can't sleep, your thoughts racing to and fro, up all night till 5 a.m. I know about those creaks and those cricks in your bones. I know about the muscle spasms when no one is looking. I know how you walk with that bent back thinking that it's just something to do with the surface, but no, deep down in the closets, in the little treasure boxes holds the trauma and the pain that you hope to keep at bay. Sitting up on top of shelves inside your skeleton and your frame sits those boxes, memories and experiences waiting to be released. Release. I say release. Your kidneys, your liver have called and they want you to release. Remember, in the middle of the night when you finally turn off the light and there's no one there but you, the chair, and you remember those memories coming up from an inky black surface waiting to talk to you. Yes, waiting to talk to you and your liver and your heart. Baby, those hips and your psoas do not give a fuck about what your neighbor says or what John Doe says or Jane. And yes, you are more than the color of your skin, but baby, your skin is beautiful and so is your body, ancient and wise. It holds inside itself DNA coded from millions of years ago. Evolution is not just so we can hold our smartphones in the night and tell our stories that we are okay with showing on feeds that we pass by, glitter and lights, but in the night when we cannot sleep, yourself calls to yourself and says it is time to release. Baby, you have a nervous system that goes throughout your body and it remembers what you tried to forget. And it is saying it is time to admit that you are hurt and you are broken. And let me tell you, that is okay. It is okay that you are hurt and you are broken. It is okay to cry. Little boys and little girls living inside the boxes in the closet where you've hidden, where you hide. This is a service announcement telling you it's all right. It's all right. Put your hand over that heart in the middle of the night and sit and listen. And when you find that pain coming up like a jewel, it's a gem. Pick up that pain, pick up that jewel and listen, baby, because it has something to say to you. And it does not give a fuck what Jane Doe, John Doe, or your neighbor thinks, your mama, your papa, your sister, your brother, your coworker. Put your hand over your heart. It's calling to you in the middle of the night saying, breathe and heal, listen. And when it is scary and when you don't feel safe, build yourself a little nest and curl up inside because it's all right to feel. It's time for spring cleaning, my brothers and sisters. Until we release, we will not be able to have that relationship, that dream, that vision that we want. This is a PSA for you and your life. It's time to clean. Get out those boxes, pop open the lids, take it out, and talk. And nobody else can tell you what it means but you. You and your knees and your toes and your fingers that ache, your fingers that are hurting, your shoulders carrying that weight. It is time to release. So take the time. This is your time. You have one time. It might be 99 years. It might be till tomorrow. It's time. Thank you. Oh, and drink some fucking water.
I don't know. Yeah, you heard it before. You'll hear before. They have stuff to sell. Award-winning taco poet Eddie Vega is somewhere. He has stuff for sale. There's a few other people who have books and things of value that you might want to purchase. Also, there are many of us who are going to be going into schools and into universities and colleges all over the city for Dia de los Muertos coming up. I know we are booked. If you guys have money in your districts, in your organizations, in your corporations, please feel free to book a poet. We don't go for much, you know, like $250 for 15 minutes. I mean, like, that's a deal. Please put your hands together. This next gentleman coming up is the leader of the Jazz Poets of San Antonio. He is dang, I can't even say. No, he's not just a man. He is a vet of Vietnam. He is an actor. You might have seen him in some HEB commercials. You might have seen him a few years back on a couple episodes, or one episode at least, of Texas Walker, Texas Ranger. What was the name? Yeah. Walker, Texas Ranger. He's an actor, an educator, a poet. He runs a whole bunch of stuff. Please put your hands together for the leader of the Jazz Poets of San Antonio, Mr. Eduardo Garza.
Yeah, we like to have music with our spoken word, so if you're interested in joining us, we're at Sabina's Coffee, Sabina Street Coffee, right here on Commerce and Sabina's. Every Tuesday, you have a writing session. If you feel like writing, I have a fail-safe technique for writing. So if you're interested, be there at 7. And then the Jazz Poetry Band plays about 8 o'clock. And it's free. Now, Sabina's has a great cuisine. They serve food and alcoholic beverages, as well as coffee and sweet drinks, non-alcoholic. Join us every Tuesday. So, you think it's easy being an earthling? Earthling. Well, think again. Taxes, Texas, tripe, treason, trigonometry, trips, traps, trollops, and all those other words that start with T. It ain't easy being an earthling. And then there's gravity and some grave situations, governments and nations, proclamations, and what's that lady's name? All the games employed, the words, the toys, smog they call it. You might think it's easy being an earthling. Wars, Mars, the moon, June, July, and why did you lie to me? And man, what's the name of that tune? Oceans polluted, rivers you can't drink out of, water wasters, skirt chasers, womanizers, man haters, jail baiters, porn abuse, this stuff called drugs, not enough hugs, insurance, jail, no bail, what's it cost to mail, freedom, free world, free trade, free love, free calor, free speech, being cool, being hot, and if you're not and get caught, questions, answers that take you nowhere, babies, making babies. Ooh. Trying too hard, not trying hard enough, not giving, not caring, not sharing, believing that it ain't easy being an earthling. Well, yeah. It ain't easy being an earthling, but it sure is a lot of fun.
Eduardo, stay up there. Jonah would like to accompany you on a piece. Okay. That's 9-year-old Jonah. Y'all give it up for Jonah on the drums.
I'm going to need some audience participation.
Okay.
When you hear me say un grito, I need someone to do that.
Do what?
Mac computer crossing PC City, leaving it behind. Couldn't get it out. It's hard, not difficult. Writing aloud. Moonrise, sky, dark blue, coyote, yip, yap. Oh, 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 oh. Coyotes. Oh. Ephemeral dream. Intuitive people say, tell me yes. Half so, because awake is the other half of dreaming. Birds, silent for the night, even gold will waste away. The four elements work together to make me. Surrounded by too much stuff we get from the conquerors, like grand writing on the wall never lived up to. Ceremony to remember things, burning products of Mother Earth to the four directions to balance them. Indigenous to the now, emerging from the proof of truth. No silence of the Aboriginal point of view. Native enrollment, useless to the dead, vital to salvation of the earth from this fungus called humanity. Yeah. Sovereign to what we know. Acts of self-sabotage. Just wanting to change. Transcending the personal, the obscene. Topographical prophecies come true. Claims of honor and one. Chains of silver, platinum, gold. Armor against their strongest hope, the enemy. Alternate subservient thought. Remember the tribe, the mother tribe. Returning to adulthood. Un grito. Y todo cambia. Puritanical empires of cultural refugees, colonized by imagination. You in front of yourself, a pile of bones. Indians in the wake of the tribal raid called the Now. The tidal wave called the Now.
That was a dance together for San Juana, Guillermo. Give it up. Give it up.
All right, hello. I'm gonna do two poems. One is when I was young, and the other one is now. First one. You know how you're driving down the street and you're driving and get all these thoughts in your head and you start thinking and remembering? This is one of those moments. My very first poem. I am American. Soy mexicana. Or am I? I am chicana. No soy de aquí, ni soy de allá. Would you like them with a fox? Would you like them with a fox? Would you like them in a box? They tried to put me in a box and they said, don't worry about school. Girls don't need it. ¿Qué? You're quitting school? Why? Are you pregnant? Then why are you quitting? Find yourself a husband and get a steady job. Your brother doesn't want to go to college. Can you talk to him? Hi, mija. Where are your shoes? Eres mi India prieta. Girls just wanna have fun. What are you talking about? I don't drink. Yes, I'm still a virgin. A, B, C, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Primer grado. ¿Voy a la escuela? Hola, maestra. No hablo inglés. Let me understand. If I'm the first one to finish my reading, I get the chocolate milk? Run, Jane, run. Go, Spot, go. Second grade. Yes, I speak English, and I can read it too. What? Sit in the back of the classroom? Why? Sleep, Jane, sleep. Am I your daughter? Am I your maid? Am I your sister? Am I your slave? You're not my father. When your brother says jump, don't ask how high. You're not boss me now, and you're not that big. ¿Cómo que go on a date? You're not bringing a man into this house until he asks for your hand in marriage. Well, then how am I supposed to meet him if I can't date? Pues entonces nunca te casas. Oh, where can my baby be? Pretty woman walking down the street, walking and thinking thoughts of wishes, reminiscing for the future. I look up. Oh man. I have to pass a stranger walking towards me in the opposite direction. I will avert my eyes and look down at the ground. Pick up your head, young lady. You're way too beautiful to have your head down. Snap. I am, aren't I? Hold your head up high and be proud of who you are. But it was only for a moment. Then I was me again. Pretty woman walking down the street. I want to go to the army, be a Vista volunteer. I want to be a model, an airline stewardess. No, because they all become tramps. Fine, then I want to be a tramp. Wild thing, you make my heart sing. Can I go to the Get Acquainted dance? The pep rally, the football, the basketball game, the homecoming, the prom? When I have a daughter, she'll do anything she wants. I hope you dance. Marry a Mexican? For what? So he can be a machista and treat me like a slave? Didn't know then what I know now. Men are all the same. Just different colors on the outside. Never gonna marry, just gonna have a child. Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. This is me now. I am powerful. I am intelligent. I am beautiful. Although it took me a while to accept it. I have been through trials and tribulations that took me to the depths. There were times when I couldn't face anymore and thought suicide was the only door left. I have survived rape, beatings, and verbal abuse. I have been demoralized, dehumanized, and dissected. I have flown high above the clouds and I have dragged myself across the floor. I am woman. Pessimism always pulled at me, but optimism never left my side. I never let the music leave my soul. It's what kept me strong. Through all the dark clouds, I was always reaching for the rainbows. I laughed through all the pain. If I didn't, I would surely have died. I have been belittled and humiliated, yet I continue to hang on. I am woman. I love love. I have also learned to love sex. I have cried over lost loves and broken hearts. I have broken hearts and made them cry. I might not have picked the right partners, but I birthed the right children, who in turn gifted me with beautiful grandchildren. I have siblings who love me and who for the most part understand me. I am powerful. I am intelligent. I educated myself in many areas that cannot be taught in schools. I educated myself in many areas that were taught in school. I am a good friend. I am a bad friend. I am accepted. I am rejected. It has taken me a while, but I have come to accept myself. And in return, I am now being accepted for who I am. I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I am talented. I am gifted. I am nice. I'm loved. And I am proud. I may not be like myself, but I don't care. I have learned to hold my head up high and revel in the woman that I have become. I am a mother, a grandmother, a sibling. I am nurturing and I am loving. I am sensuous. I am powerful. I am woman. Thank you.
Poetry Slam, which is going on very strongly today under the guidance of some awesome poets. We are the only ongoing poetry slam for teenagers in the city of San Antonio. Back in 2012, we took the first group of teenagers to go compete against teams from all over the world at the Brave New Voices International Youth Poetry Festival in San Francisco. And this young man is a gem. He has a special needs history, but you can't even tell like what is special needs. This man is a genius. This man records and documents all the poetry events that he goes to. He's a master cinematographer, a creative of the highest quality in his own right. He is an awesome young man. Please put your hands together for Mr. Corey Hunter. Y'all give it up for Corey Hunter.
All right, go. Let's wait for the song.
These 3 hip-hop poems are dedicated to my father, mother, sister, and the man whom I call the method man of poetry, Max Admin, y'all. Empire times 2. Shaolin shadowboxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. And what you say is true. The Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me? On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style. Today is October the 4th, which is also the rise of the chorus debut under the direction of the Madre who is against racism and sexual abuse. I've seen and heard whack rappers getting all the fame with their mumbling, auto-tune. No offense to Future and Travis Scott though. And fake vocabulary which gets on my nerves. It's like the Coachella 2016 festival taken over by the lynch mob legend Ice Cube. But the return of NWA who came straight out of Compton with the spirit of Eazy-E. Setting the crowd on fire with his son O'Shea Jackson Jr., who portrayed his father in the film, with MC Ren, DJ Yella and Dr. Dre. What is the empire, you may ask? Now, it's 2017, and still, the late 80s with the world's most dangerous group and Public Enemy, along with the 90s legend, still lives in me. Proof? In the month of September, Brooklyn's lyrical warrior Nas slayed the Tobin Center, despite being victimized by the disrespectful Lonzo Ball. And the man for the Wu-Tang known as the Chef dominated San Antonio at the Corova, promoting his latest record, The Wild. Not only they inspired me, to all these punks from today, I don't roll with the Lil Uzi Verts, Boogies with Hoodies, Cardi B's, 20 Savages, Bad and Bougie's Despacitos, and all the other fools that are pathetic to me in this generation. My heart lies for the busy, wish, lazy, crazy, and the flesh. Bone Thugs Harmony. The NWA known as Eazy-E, DJ Yella, Dr. Dre, MC Ren and the Ice Cube. The Kendrick Lamar from Compton. I also fight the power and shove down with Chuck Day and his powerful force. Public Enemy. Lastly, I bring the ruckus and the pain with the Wu-Tang Clan. The RZA, GZA, ODB, Method Man, Inspector Deck, You God, the Chef, Ghostface, and Master Killer. Let me say it again. I bring the ruckus, the pain with the Wu-Tang Clan. With the RZA, GZA, ODB, Method Man, Inspector Deck, You God, the Chef, Ghostface, and Master Killer. Piece number 2. The Donnie the American. And the 2 documentaries, The Evolution of Hip Hop and The Art of Organized Noise. Along with Straight Outta Compton, the NWA biopic. My childhood icons remind me that to remain true to your influences. You mustn't give in to all the whack nonsense you dare say they are better than you. Allow me to propose that I am the Donnie the American. My parents' influences were George Clinton, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Spinners, the Motown legends Marvin Gaye continues to electrify millions of adults who enjoy the old school. The scenes of Omar Epps' GQ in the 1992 film Juice, where he rehearses and scratches against the majesty you all wanted to juice, destroying his brain with the upbeat sound to pump it up. That was my era, where the mixed master's beef with the other is settled in the DJ battle. I don't give a damn if the new school of crappy music full of repetitives, including that stupid Robin Thicke and Pharrell, are untalented for stealing Marvin Gaye's hit which they lost. But I have respect for T.I. because he wrote his own words. He just needs to be careful on who he collaborates with. The sounds and poems of the man Gil Scott Heron has lifted my father's spirits to the stratosphere with a bottle, allowing him, on the date of April 26th of 2016, to perform a poem called The New Deal. The legacies of the world's most dangerous group, the political public enemy, and the bad boy death row beef have flown through the veins of the people who understands the real crap. During the tragedy of a fellow poet, the man by the name of DJ Donnie D has mixed her poems into a lifetime legacy in the 12th of February. That led to my alliance with him being formed. We will continue to show the world that the old school era will not get screwed over and over again until the day we no longer exist.
All Eyes on Me, a tribute to Tupac Shakur. Do you know how many brothers who are lost in the streets for gun violence? Too many young ones taken. But life goes on for those who survive. When someone on something like warfare brings one down, the only way to heal is to keep your head up. In the Hail Mary, don't push yourselves to be full-time killers. Run from the enemy as you bow down and pray to God. Telling the Father to become the ghost, remaining unseen by the enemy. LA, Oakland, Watts, and what the crazy brother named Ice Cube said straight out of Compton, the one with Dr. Dre feels the love of California. The industry put him and Snoop Doggy Dogg on the most wanted list, which ain't nothing but a gangster party in the same place at the same time. Alone on the streets, with the fear of being abused and neglected after suspicion. And dear mama, a mother is the only thing in his mind, and she will always be appreciated. Too much nonsense on the streets as we pump our fists in the visions of war and riots. As a black young man, I see all of this crap on the news. The war against cops since the sniper who shot at them a few years back. There hasn't been any changes since a lot. The death of the Black Panther Huey P. Newton, and dope selling instead of learning to treat each other right. Lastly, one who used to be friends with Biggie Smalls with Puff Daddy until he blames the shooting on the man who tried to help him in the business. Leading to the biggest rivalry in the 90s, Bad Boy versus Death Row, with Suge Knight as the #1 notorious bad son of a gun. 2 diss tracks, one for Ready to Die, in which Tupac is heard while spending time in prison, and the other which is the worst, Hit 'Em Up, claiming that he screwed his wife Faith Evans, and even the worst of all, P. Diddy and the Bad Boy family are screwed for life. Kudos to the Slim Shady who says, screw Donald Trump!
All right, that was the young Corey Hunter right there. Y'all give it up for him one more time. Corey Hunter. That's one of the coolest things about all these published authors.
La Gloria
in 2017, the 9th annual Una Noche in La Gloria, right here at the University of the Spoken Words Poetry Stage. Give it up for Mr. Mitchell Hornbeek. Mitchell Hornbeek.
How y'all doing, all right? Staying smug in southern Texas, you've pounded and showered those rolling hills, and great deals of laurels with your rays of power, even in morning hours. But wow, now, here you are, dropping back, settling and setting fiery days to let the earth's child soon to have its glow to a flow. It's true, South Texas. Its shining land can't escape what's been reaping and sowing. The tiltings and the straight at the hiltings. Oh, and the seeking and searching that you do. And we see that it comes out of you. It makes these dynamic sprouters want to come out and take a look at you. Pushing winds while fronds of mesquites take it in. Dampness is happy where St. Augustine craves wetness, carving a path of a doodlebug's prances where southern Texas dances. Then glances from an early look of how humidity causes trances. Then it appears that both it and the heat of the beat dances away only to see us again after 11 heaven. But It's true that June bugs can give us a tug and a hug at the first of our plights. El frío y el mesteño, a ti te gusta el sabor de la uva y la cereza, pero la lima te la puede complacer. ¿Sabes tú que estás plenamente envuelto en esta caminata afanosa? ¿Tú sabes con tan precisión que debes morder el tuyo? Porque te esperan montañas y torres, fierro y plástico, frutas caídas. No quieres que te aceden tu dulzura y dejarte deshojado. Fruta del desierto cae en la boca, puesto que hayas visto el paseo entre las alturas y casi discutías con las nubes. A sentir pie en la lier casi te encendiste y el polvo trataba de esconder los 100 hornos que llaman el agua tibia como vencedor. Los caballos andan en la primera fuerza, pero el pan y sal saltan a la vista por el deseo del alma ajeno a quien se considera entregado. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, that was Mr. Y Emiliano Zapata. ¿Y por qué chingados no podemos unir? Mejor prefieren sufrir. ¿Por qué chingados no puedes ganar? No podemos ganar. Pero todo el tiempo lo tenemos que matar. Uno y otros entre nuestra raza. En vez de unirnos y a chingar al gobierno, nos unimos más en este pinche infierno. ¿Por qué chingados no podemos amar? Como saludando a los jefes, familia, carnal. Ya sé que no soy el único que quiere triunfar. Vamos a unirnos para el gobierno chingar. Únete, raza, o púdrete, raza. Pero mejor que viva la raza. Segundo poema. Vete de aquí, tú no eres de estos pinches, esas calles. Vete para atrás, para tu pinche lado. Tú no naciste hablando así. Tú no te creíste viviendo así. Tú no quieres sufrir así, vivir así, pelear así. Tú no quieres morir así. Tú nomás quieres hablar así, que chale, que vato, que ruca, que esa babosa. Tú no quieres vivir así como estos vatos malosos, chingazos, balazos. Tú no quieres vivir como mi amiga golpeada, violada. Vete mucho a la chingada. Tú no sabes qué quiere decir puta desgraciada, taloneando por un tostón, toda chingoteada por un cabrón. Tú no quieres sufrir así, vivir, morir así. Tú nomás quieres hablar así. ¿Sabes qué? Cállate los hocico, no sabes de qué chinga estás hablando. Tercera poema. Soy vampiro de 300 años y hoy ya son mis cumpleaños. Día de los muertos cuando yo nací, día de los muertos cuando yo morí. Duermo en el día, despierto en la noche, me voy volando, no necesito mi coche, me voy volando, no te echo mentiritas, me gustan más todas las chinitas, rubias, negras, gordas y flacas. No me importa, no siento el amor, solo desangrando hasta que para el corazón. Tantos años con la alma bien fría, muerte, muertos todos los días, volando, matando, rompiendo las almas. Y en estas horas de la madrugada, tengo sueño, ya me tengo que dormir. Mañana tú sigues, tienes que morir.
So actually, I've been thinking, and it's been like, you know, bombarding me with like bad memories and shit. This whole Harvey Weinstein thing, and like how actresses are suddenly coming out of the works talking about how this man victimized them, and now men are starting to speak out against this guy. And I was just like thinking about, you know, about those people, those men, even those women who knew about this, who have known that this man victimizes women, and who knows who else he victimizes. But it kind of like, you know, riled up a whole bunch of memories and poems that I thought I put to rest. And so I'm gonna read a couple of poems plus a fresh one that I wrote about an hour ago. So my name's Holly Maddox on Facebook, Holly Nana's real life, and this is about being victimized sexually, in abuse, etc., etc. Right? What a bummer, God. But for real. Anyway, so I try to think about the people who have always known but never had courage within themselves to speak up, to speak out. Those kind of people who have invested interest in not speaking out. Who are they? Why are they complicit in allowing these things to continue to perpetuate a cycle of silence, shame, and victimization? By not speaking out, they have effectually taken all responsibility they have in confronting and stopping these things off their hands. When you know something and brush it under the rug, and then you train your mind to forget, you tell yourself it will never rear up its ugly head and bite you in the ass. You forget that you are just postponing your discovery of being complicit. You are now just as much of a low-life predator as that person. No thing you do can fix that. You have solidified your guilty conscience, and now your soul will rot from the inside out. This dirty truth will eat at you like a cancer. And once again, your truth will be the last thing you utter on your deathbed. That's my first poem. I wrote that an hour ago. Obviously really angry, huh? This poem I wrote, this is like one of my first poems, I think. I saw the devil. I told you no, and rode away on my bike, yet I feel your eyes follow me. I rode deep into the countryside, trying to leave you behind. The horizon stretched until the next day, the fields full of golden wheat and gossamer. Dragonflies, all the color of the rainbow, zipped this way and that, and through the waves of wheat fields. The trilling call of swallows peeked over and over within the tangles of weeds and underbrush, only to be picked up again by another trill down the road. Violet larkspur inked the edges of the wheat fields, a fragrant warrior's bloom. As twilight set in, I could hear the locusts gathering and converging at the crossroads. Under the amber glow of the street lamps. They sought the warmth of the asphalt and the protection of the lights, thousands of them, littering the road like feathers cast from the wings of Lucifer. As a kid, I would sometimes lay on the asphalt and soak up the heat of the sun long after it sunk behind the horizon. I would lay so still that the locusts would begin to crawl over me, into my hair and over my eyes. I liked the feeling of being a part of them, consumed by wicked creatures, silent, 1,000 gashes over my body until I was unrecognizable. It's how I felt, cut into 1,000 pieces, each piece with flapping wings and bleeding parts. The only words the locusts had to say to me took the form of black blood spots all over my clothes, 100 pinpricks outlining every part you hurt. As night inched across the plains, I felt a chill danced across my eyelids. It was time to get up and go. I had a long ride ahead of me, and the street lamps came every mile. Before long, it would be dark, and I would be at least 3 miles out of town. I jumped on my bike and kicked up dust as I sped away, pedaling as fast as I could. That night you came to me in my bed, and I knew I saw the devil. I held my toy to my chest while you sought a moist darkness. I only remember those eyes. They didn't belong to you. They were the devil's, and your mouth was that of your father's. Poem 3. My father couldn't stand. A crow girl stirring in 10 parts. A performance piece. All right. Part 1. His skin is thick and glossy, the color of molasses. His eyes covered with silver dollar sunglasses. He's an older man. He is a large man. A cane added to his weight. He wore light blue polyester pants pulled over his expansive waist, a button-up, short-sleeved shirt with thin stripes tucked in, and a fancy, thick silver watch loosely hung on his right wrist. He sat down facing us on the bus, his body spread across 2 seats lazily, our knees just inches apart. My quick examination of the man was friendly, intelligent, and well put together, not creepy, non-threatening, safe. Part 2. I was exhausted after work. My father was visiting for the first time. He was running his mouth about all the possibilities and all the excitement of new things. I answered his excitement with underwhelmed one-syllable answers. Huh, yeah, cool. I watched Telegraph Avenue whirl past. At some point, I noticed the man's shaded eyes examining me, snaking up and down my body, a wet tongue lapping up milk. I felt exposed. His filth came pouring out over me. It clung to my limbs. My skin flushed. I knew this feeling, the feeling of wrongness. I was 8 years old again, in a grown woman's body. I was frightened, ashamed. Did my father notice? The man's lips parted. His tongue slid across his lower lip. A spark ignited behind those shades. Like a child in a candy store, he smacked his lip, dreaming about the perfect fix, and his gaze fixed on me. I'm used to this. I wouldn't agree to his gaze. So I looked out the window into the sky. It was overcast, empty, except for a single black dot high up, a lone crow. I think about what that crow might be thinking. I ponder, is she as alone as she looks up in the sky? Or does she have a crow mate, a family that watches her back when she's exposed to danger? Part 4. My father shoves a local newspaper point blank in front of my face. He is showing me something. Some ads? Something meaningless, unimportant, unrelated, unconnected? Let me go back into the sky so I can avoid this now creepy, threatening, dangerous man. Then I see it. His legs are spread. He is scratching between them. No, he is stroking between them, stroking his genitals, inches away from me, from my father. My thoughts thrashed against my skull. Get out, get out, get out. Nothing came out. His cruel intentions were hot hands clamping down on the wings of my spirit. Part 5. In my mind, I saw the devil in those eyes, the filth of oil pouring into a clean ocean, skin on skin, dark rooms with windows that looked out to nothing, brick walls, a fire snuffed out between the heart and the soul. You don't understand, Wings. You crush them between your fingers. You are worse than a windstorm. Your fingers are dark with the ashes of a spirit extinguished. Part 6. I tried to focus on something other than the fact that my father's spine buckled. His vain attempt to shield me, this man's vulgarity, a newspaper full of ads? That did not add up. All he had to do was stand up. Part 7. His dark lips puckered at the corners. He knows the helpless look of prey under his fingertips. His senses are honed to perfection. Every tremor of fear, hopelessness, subjectivity, of familiarity. My father fails me. All the strength it takes to stand up, to move, such a simple gesture, has drained from my father's limbs. For the first time, I see a crack in the pillar of my father's perfect knight in shining armor image. Part 8. I have felt shame for such a long time, holding secrets of what my family members have done. I can't help but connect the dots, all the instances in which my father could have, should have, might have said or done something, anything to protect me. Was it enough? Or were his attempts to prevent just like this one? Meaningless, unimportant, unrelated, and unconnected. Part 9. That conversation we had years ago, late at night in the back of the truck, about private parts, about how no one should touch them, how naming names didn't matter, how ashamed I felt for having allowed somebody to touch them. Like an 8-year-old even understood how perverse such things were. My naivety was my own fault, right? Right? I'm sorry I let it happen. I should have known better. Part 10. At that moment, I realized that my father has always known. His spine has always been crooked and imperfect, paralyzed by his own fear, perhaps, but not sure, a victim in his own right. Still, I felt betrayed, sick to the stomach. My fear, my father couldn't stand. Didn't know how to, or perhaps he's never wanted to. My heart drops out of my chest. I feel a heart-shaped hole where my heart used to be. It feels with the weight of this knowledge, the sting of betrayal. I am alone next to all of these people. I don't know what to do, what to think, how to reconcile this new perspective of my father. Forget this man. Forget his filth. Forget me not agreeing with this. My father couldn't stand. Thank you.